Hey, this is Dr. Hymers in my office.
这是海螺博士在我办公室里。
Este es Dr. Hymers en mi oficina.
I am going to talk to you just in English.
现在仅仅用英文告诉大家一件事儿。
Le hablaré solamente en inglés.
But we'll be back in just a few minutes to preach the sermon, and that'll be in English and Spanish and Chinese as always.
再过一会儿呢，我们讲到的时候就是用3种语言了：中文、英文、西班牙语。
Pero regresaremos en unos minutos para predicar el sermón y será en inglés, español y chino como siempre.
So keep watching.
继续观看下。
Sigue mirando.
Now at the top of your screen is an address where you can write to get these 2 books. We're offering these 2 books, one by Dr. Kagan and one by me, and 2 books for the price of 1. This is Dr. Kagan's book, From Darwin to Design. It is a book on showing the untenable nature, the falseness of the Darwinian theory of evolution, and he does a fine job. Dr. Kagan has a PhD in mathematics from UCLA, and he has written this wonderful book. I helped him a little bit with the English of it, and Dr. Henry M. Morris, the founder of the Institute for Christian Research, said it's a delight to read. And Dr. D. James Kennedy said, a word of warning to those who may pick up this book by chance, you most likely will not be able to put it down. Darwin to Design shows how Dr. Kagan, a staunch atheist, gradually began realizing the laws governing the universe are too precise to point to anything but intelligent design by God. I want you to have this book, and I want you to have this one as well. This one is my autobiography. It's called Against All Fears. Dr. Kagan wrote on the back, you will laugh, you will cry, it will encourage you when you're ready to give up. Dr. Paige Patterson, the president of Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary, said, read this book and you will be blessed. This is my autobiography, and it's quite a book. It's got photographs of me with everybody from Richard Nixon to Billy Graham, and I met some real heavy Christians in my day, as the hippies would say. And this is my life story. Moish Rosen, Jews for Jesus, Patrick Buchanan, Dr. Bob Jones Jr., Richard Nixon, President Reagan, pictures with me, and I met these great men, Dr. W.A. Criswell, Dr. Robert L. Sumner, and Dr. John R. Rice, Dr. Richard Rembrandt, Dr. Bill Bright, and Dr. Jerry Falwell. These are some of the men that I've met, Billy Graham, over the years, and Francis Schaeffer. And I want you to have this book. It's my unvarnished and truthful autobiography, how I came up as a boy, a virtual orphan, and how I came into the ministry and failed as a missionary, but now I'm pastor of the only independent fundamental Baptist church in downtown Los Angeles. This book will blow you away. It's called Against All Fears. A frightened boy overcame incredible obstacles and became an inspiration to millions. I'm going to send you both these books because I believe you need them. You will read them yourself, and if you're a pastor, you'll teach these books to your young people. They're tremendous books. This one is on showing the fallacies, the unreliability of Darwinian evolution. This one is my autobiography, how I became a Christian, and am responsible for preaching these sermons all over the world. These books would sell for $25 each if you bought them in a bookstore. We're letting you have both of them for $25, and that includes postage. Write to me, Dr. R.L. Hymers Jr., Dr. Hymers, Hymers, at the address on the top of the screen, Post Office Box 15308, Los Angeles, California, 90015. Make a check out to the Baptist Tabernacle of Los Angeles, or to Dr. R.L. Hymers Jr. Either way, it'll get to me, and we'll send you both these books. This is a $50 a $50 offer, you get both of them for $25. That includes shipping. So please write to us. Now we're going into the service, which is now underway, and God bless you for watching.
He has done great things. Praise His holy name.
Amen. You may be seated. And please turn in your Bible
打开圣经，
to Psalm 57,
打开圣经诗篇57，
Voltea la Biblia de Salmo 57.
page 626 in the Schofield Study Bible.
中英对照是888页上。
Página 592, la Biblia Estudios Referencias Scofield.
Please, Psalm 57 and verse 7.
诗篇57第7节，
Salmo 57, 7.
This is a psalm of David, which he wrote before he was king, and he was in a terrible situation because King Saul was chasing him, trying to kill him.
这是大卫，
David hid in a cave to escape from Saul.
这是大卫在成为国王之前，受这个扫罗呢到处追杀的时候，他藏在山洞里面写了一首圣诗。
Este es un salmo de David que escribió cuando estaba en condición terrible, de escondido en una cueva por causa de que Saúl quería matarlo.
And David said, "My heart is fixed, O God, my heart is fixed. I will sing and give praise."
大卫这样讲说：“神啊，我心坚定，我心坚定，我要唱诗，我要歌颂。”
Pronto está mi corazón, oh Dios, mi corazón está dispuesto a cantaré y a trovaré de salmos.
There's a lot of nice little notes here. Right under where it says Psalm 57, it says, "To the chief musician Alcasathis, Mictam of David, when he fled from Saul in the cave."
这里面有个注解，就讲的是大卫藏在山洞里面，他做这个诗交与灵长，作为唱诗用。
Hay una nota de bonita diciendo que es el jefe de músico de David cuando se escondió.
Now turn to 108, Psalm 108.
然后诗篇108，
Salmo 108.
Where's Dr. Kagan? Is your finger okay?
I got a bandage on it.
Hold it up. Oh, okay. Psalm 108. What did they do to your finger?
I had an abscess and it was lanced open. And
It was nasty too. I remember seeing it last night. Psalm 108, verse 1.
诗篇108第1节。
Salmo 108, verso 1.
O God, my heart is fixed. I will sing and give praise, even with my glory.
神啊，我心坚定，我口要唱诗歌颂。
Mi corazón está dispuesto, oh Dios, cantaré entonces a salmos en mi gloria.
Now, this is most interesting because both of these psalms were written after he had the experience in a cave twice.
这2首诗都是他们在这山洞里边，他有这个经历之后写的。
Muy interesante, los dos escritos cuando tuvo una experiencia en cuevas, 2 veces.
The first time, he hid in the cave, and Saul didn't see him. He was back in the cave. Second time, Saul went to sleep, and David crept down and put some. What did he do? He gave him something, didn't he? What was it, Doc?
there was one time where he put a piece of his cloak.
He put a piece of his cloak in the king's hand, so he would know that he could have killed him, and he didn't. Now, what was wrong with King Saul? Go ahead.
2次呢都是在这个山洞里面，大卫第1次呢藏在山洞里面，他这个扫罗没有发现。第2次呢，扫罗去到山洞里面割下了这个就是扫罗的这个衣袍一部分，就是证明他完全可以杀掉他，却没有杀。
Una vez estaba escondiéndose de Saúl, la otra vez Saúl estaba en una cueva, se metió ahí, puso la manta al lado de él para que supiera de que pudiera haber matado a él si es que deseaba.
There was something very wrong with King Saul.
扫罗肯定有些什么不正常。
Algo muy mal con rey Saúl.
He became demon possessed, but it didn't happen right away.
他已经成为魔鬼附身的一人。
Fue poseído por demonio, pero no enseguida.
It came from harboring jealousy over David, because David was a young man, about 20, maybe 21, and he killed Goliath with a stone, and the people sang, "David has killed Saul has killed his thousands, but David his tens of thousands. And that just really ripped Saul up because he wanted to be the great king of everybody. And so he meditated on that and thought about it.
扫罗就是因为妒忌心，所以说使得他鬼魔附身，就是因为当时打仗的时候，葛利亚的一个高大巨人被大卫打死之后，这战争之后，那些女士们唱圣诗说扫罗杀了1000，这个大卫杀了他10000。
David va toda al gigante con una piedra y la gente contó de que Saúl mató 1000 y a David 10 de miles, y eso enojó a Saúl.
Bitterness and jealousy are a terrible thing.
所以妒忌
We had a
心，
great church split here over that because the men that led it were jealous and bitter and would not come clean, would not confess it. And so they got to really under the conviction of, under the control rather, of demons.
所以就是那些人带来我们教会分裂的这些，也是在这苦毒以妒忌之心控制之下，结果呢魔鬼附身，利用了他们。
Amargura y celos es algo que destruye mucho. Tuvimos acá de que tuvieron el quebrantamiento porque eran controlados por demonios por causa de eso.
David was not a perfect man
大卫并非完美，
David no era un hombre perfecto.
by any sense of the means, but he wasn't demonized. And he said, "My heart is fixed, O God, my heart is fixed."
大卫虽然不是完美的，但他仍然这样说：“我心坚定，神啊，我心坚定。”
David no era perfecto, pero no era endemoniado. Dijo, mi corazón está dispuesto, oh Dios.
This is an important text. You should listen to it. The heart in these verses refers to the mind.
这节经文里面的心指的是人的心念。
El corazón acá se refiere a la mente.
It's not easy to have a fixed mind in these days of apostasy.
在如今这个离道反教的时代中间，很难得到一个坚定的心念。
No es fácil tener una mente fija en estos días de apostasía.
Everything mitigates against it.
一切的事情都与其作对。
Todo está en contra de esto.
But though it's not easy, it is simple.
但虽然不容易，但是很简单。
Pero aunque no es fácil, es simple.
The solid Christian has his mind fixed steadfastly on the Bible.
要知道，真正确定的基督徒，他们很稳定的基督徒，他们心都是坚定在圣经之上。
El cristiano fuerte tiene su mente fija solamente en la Biblia.
He thinks about the Bible.
他思索的是圣经，
Piensa de la Biblia.
He doesn't just quickly run over it
他不
so he
是
can say, I did the Bible reading.
他不是在那么简简单单听就是读完了以后就说完了，我们就今天的任务完成了。
No solamente piensa de eso tan rápido para decir que hizo lo que se debe de leer.
Doing it that way may be worse than not reading the Bible at all.
那样去做的话，还不如不读。
Siendo lo sigue es quizás peor que no leer.
Because one comforts his heart, I read the Bible, and he hasn't really read it.
实际上他只是良心上面过去，根本没有去读进去。
Uno se hace sentir bien de que dio la Biblia, pero no la leyó.
As I've said to you young people many times, I'd rather have you read 2 or 3 verses than to read all 3 chapters in the Old Testament quickly and not remember any of them, not think about them. Speed reading is not to be used in the Bible.
读圣经，尤其是这个不应该用速读，所以对你们年轻人讲说，我情愿你们能够读进2句话，不断思考一下，也好过这读3章书不去思考。
Como les he dicho a ustedes, es mejor que lean solamente el Nuevo Testamento, 2 versos, en vez de los 3 capítulos del Viejo Testamento, por causa de que es mejor recordar, leer rápido la Biblia, no es algo que se debe de hacer.
Speed reading was introduced to the American people by John F. Kennedy, the president.
美国人从这个约翰肯尼迪总统那里面学到了速读，
Leer rápido fue introducido por John F. Kennedy, el presidente.
And he said he could read through a book in one day or something like that,
他可以1天之内读完一本书。
Dijo que podía leer un libro en un día.
and bragged about how many books he read. But I didn't like it at the time. I remember I was only about 22 years old. I thought, this is not good for the president to be telling people to read books so quickly they can't get anything out of them.
当时我记
I
得
never read books that way.
我20来岁，我听总统们讲说，这样让那些人们速读这个书，可能对他们没有好处。
Tenía 22 años de edad y pensé de que no es bueno que el presidente le diga a la gente que lea tan rápido los libros para que no entiendan.
And to this day, I read 2 or 3 books a week.
至今我呢，这每一个礼拜要读2、3本书，
But
Yo
no
leo
speed,
2 o 3
no
libros
speed
a la
reading.
semana.
No speed reading. There is a place for speed reading, though.
没有速读。我告诉你，速读是有用的，另外一个地方。
Hay un lugar para leer rápido.
In college, where they give you 25 books to read, and you've got 4 other classes, and you're working all day in the daytime, you've got to read, I read it, you know. but you're not going to get anything out of it.
大学里边他
But
们
there is a place for speed reading, so you can say you read it.
有那么地方可以说交任务，就是我完全读完了，能够交课的。
En la universidad, cuando te dan 25 libros que leer y tienes 4 otras clases también, ahí se puede leer rápido, pero no vas a conseguir mucho.
But no, it's not easy to have your heart fixed in these days of apostasy. It is simple.
但离到
A solid Christian has his mind fixed steadfastly on the Bible.
坚定的基督徒，他们的心意、他们的心念都是立在圣经之上。
El cristiano de firme tiene su mente puesta sobre la Biblia.
When was the last time you memorized a Bible verse?
最后，
Just think about it yourself.
你自己想想，最后一次你背诵京剧什么时候？
Piensa en ti mismo cuando fue la última vez que memorizaste un verso de la Biblia.
Isn't it about time you memorized another one, like 1 Corinthians 1:10?
是不是你应该去背诵另一节京剧了？哥林多前书1章10节。
El tiempo que memorices otra como 1 Corintios 1:10.
Dr. Kagan said he discovered that some of the key people in our church had already begun to forget Romans 16, 17, and 18, though they had only memorized it 3 weeks before.
凯根博士告诉我说，我们发现了教会里边的
They
关键。
stumbled over it when asked to say it. Now we're going to have another church split if you can't keep that simple verse in your mind occasionally.
如果你要是这简单这么一句话都记不住、背不下来的话，我看很快我们有另一场教会分裂。
Romanos 16, 17, 18, algo que debes de recordar. Dr. King se asombró de que muchos líderes ya no se lo olvidó.
The solid Christian has his mind steadfastly fixed on the local church where he was converted and taught.
坚定的基督徒，他们的心念永远的放在地方教会里面，在那里面得到了真理。
Va a haber otro quebrantamiento si no te puedes recordar eso, pero el cristiano de fuerte tiene su mente puesta sobre la Biblia donde emprendió la iglesia.
The solid Christian has his mind steadfastly fixed on obedience to God and His Word.
坚定的基督徒，他们的心念是放在服从神，而他在何处什么地方得到转变。
El fuerte cristiano tiene su mente sobre obediencia a Dios y su palabra.
Now, we've been singing that song, Trust and Obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey.
一首圣诗这样唱：只有信念，只有信靠啊，服从，再没有其他方法得到欢喜。
Hemos cantado el canto de que toca confiar y obedecer porque no hay ninguna otra manera de ser feliz en Jesús menos que confiar y obedecer.
And I told the fellow that was fixing up the song sheets, I said, don't have him sing that so much, because when you sing it, a song like that over and over and over and over and over and over, pretty soon, just automatic, and you're not even thinking about it, and that doesn't do any good.
当你唱首歌反反复复的时候，很多时候不再思考，那是没有用的。
Dice que relava los cantos de que no pusiera eso en el himnario tantas veces por causa de que no se piensa si lo dices todo a menudo.
But although it's very true,
这首圣诗很真实。
the solid Christian has his mind steadfastly fixed on obedience to God and His Word.
坚定的基督徒，他
I
们的
said
心
the
思
solid Christian. Look up, please.
El fuerte cristiano tiene su mente fija en obediencia a Dios y su palabra.
We don't have a lot of solid Christians here.
我们身边没有很多坚定的基督徒。
No tenemos muchos fuertes
I
cristianos
still
acá.
have to admit, we don't have a lot of solid Christians here.
我必须要承认，就是我们身边没有很多。
Tengo que admitir que no tenemos fuertes cristianos acá.
That's why they were so easily confused by Chan and his group and Waldrop.
这是为什么 Wardrop 还有陈氏他们这么容易能混乱他们的心思。
Por eso que fueron confundidos tan fácil con Waldrop y Chan y su grupo.
David wrote Psalm 57 before he was made king.
大卫写成诗篇57篇的时候呢，还没有做国王。
David escribió Salmo 57 antes de ser rey.
David was hiding in a cave from the demonized King Saul, who sought to kill him.
他藏在山洞里面躲避鬼魔附身的扫罗王。
David se estaba escondiendo en una cueva del endemoniado rey David rey Saúl que quería matarlo.
It was a confusing time.
那段时期非常混乱，
Era un tiempo de confusión.
And in that confusing time, David determined in his mind and heart that he would be fixed steadfastly on obedience to God.
大卫虽然在混乱中间，仍然下定决心或者坚定不移的依从神。
En ese tiempo de confusión, David puso su mente fija de que iba a ser obediencia a Dios.
The true Christian has a heart fixed on God and the Bible that cannot be moved.
真正的基督徒，他们的心思、心念是放在神身上，放在圣经上，不可能动摇。
El cristiano real tiene su mente puesta sobre Dios y la Biblia y no puede ser movido.
And I would go so far as to say that that's the main key to the Christian life.
我甚至可以这样讲，这是主要基督徒的生活中的主要特征。
Esa es la parte clave de la vida cristiana.
To have a heart that's fixed on the Bible and God,
他们心思放在圣经和神的身上。
Tener la mente puesta sobre Dios y a la Biblia.
the Apostle Paul said, Now I beseech you, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye all speak the same thing, that there be no divisions among you, but that ye be perfectly joined together.
使徒保罗这样告诫我们说：“弟兄们，我借我们主耶稣基督的圣名，劝你们都说一样的话，在你们中间不可分党，只要一心一意，彼此相合。”
In the,
Pablo dijo, ruego pues hermanos por el nombre de nuestro Señor Jesucristo que hables todo una misma cosa y que no haya entre vosotros división, antes sea perfectamente unidos una misma mente, a un mismo parecer.
in the same mind and in the same judgment, 1 Corinthians 1:10.
只要一心一意，彼此相合，跟了的前书1:10节。
En una misma mente y un mismo parecer, 1 Corintios 1:10.
Now, if we should ever have a church where that becomes reality, they will call us a cult.
一旦我们真有这么个教会
They，already do. A lot of people do already.
很多人就会一个称呼我们是邪教。
It's a badge of honor, you know.
Si tenemos una iglesia que tiene mente así, entonces nos llamaron un culto, ya lo hacen, pero es una medalla de honor.
Because this could be misconstrued, but everything I say could be misconstrued if you pull it out of context. But it's really a compliment because the cults are the only ones that have their act together.
实际上呢，从某种意义
The
来讲，
evangelicals certainly do not have their act together
真正一个组织有
in
效，
any sense of the word.
都是那个邪教。
Es complemento porque los cultos son los que están arreglados en orden y los evangélicos no.
So what people have experienced is the Jehovah's Witnesses, the Mormons, they've got their act together. They know what they're doing.
所以他们看到的就是耶和华见证人或者摩门教，他们确实是组织有效，而且确实知道自己在做什么。
Los testigos de Jehová, los mormones, tienen todo arreglado bien y eso es lo que ha visto la gente.
Whereas the evangelicals are all over the place. And that's the reason why the Mormons and the Jehovah's Witnesses are growing rapidly, and evangelicalism is almost ready to be, it's beginning to disappear. And it will disappear if you're a young person, it will virtually, only 7% of Americans are evangelicals, you know. If you put all the evangelicals in America in one place, it would be less than the population of New York State.
如果你真是就是看起来现在的你们有些年轻人说，在那有生之年，这个整个的福音派可能会消失，全部的人口少于纽约城的纽约一个州的这个人口。
Si tú eres joven, los nuevos evangélicos van a desaparecer en tu vida. Si tú es menos de 7% del país, si lo pusieras todo en un lugar, sería menos que la gente que hay en Nueva York.
So if somebody says, you're a cult, tell them, thank you.
有人讲说你们是个
What do you
邪，
mean, thank you?
Alguien
Well,
dice
it
que tú
means
eres un
we're getting
culto.
our act together.
你可以说谢谢你，为什么要谢上？就是我们确实组
We're
织
learning
有
what
效
we。
Alguien dice que eres
believe.
un culto, le dices gracias porque ellos tienen su acto bien.
Notice the cults never have church splits. Never.
注意，邪教从来不会有教会分
Never
裂。
a Mormon's church split. Never a
cultos nunca
Jehovah's
tienen
Witness church
quebrantamientos.
split. Never a split in the Mormons or the Jehovah's Witness. Never. You never heard of one. You never will.
从来没有这耶和华见证人或者摩门教他们教分裂，没有听说。
Nunca han tenido quebrantamiento y nunca lo tendrán.
The evangelicals are splitting every which way. The average Baptist preacher has been through 3 church splits. The average.
一般的浸信会平均已经分裂过3次。
El promedio de bautista predicador ha pasado 3 quebrantamientos.
Everybody does what's right in his own eyes, and there is no king.
人人都做自己眼中为正确的事。
Todos hacen que está bien en sus ojos y no hay rey.
True unity is based on Christians whose hearts are fixed.
真正的同心合意，确实来自于基督教徒为基础的这个真正相聚在一起。
Unidad verdadera es con los cristianos que tienen sus mentes puestas fijas.
This unity is broken in a church when the leading members are unconverted and carnal.
但是这个教会里面这种同心合意呢，就因为领导他们本身就是追求世俗，结果被破坏掉。
Esa unidad es quebrada cuando los líderes son no convertidos y carnales.
When the leading members of a church are carnal and unconverted, or both, there can be no unity.
当这个教会里面做领导那些人，他们的心思非常世俗，而且根本没有得转变的时候，教会里不可能有同心合意。
Cuando los líderes de la iglesia son no convertidos a carnales, no puede haber unidad.
Why? Because the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him.
为什么？就是因为属血气的人不领会神圣灵的事，反倒以为愚拙。
Mas el hombre natural o animal no percibe las cosas que son del Espíritu de Dios porque les son
Neither
locura.
can he know them because they are spiritually discerned.
他们也并且不能知道，因为他们的灵眼闭塞了。
Y no la pueden entender porque se han de examinar espiritualmente.
That is one of the most frequently quoted verses that I quote in my sermons, and yet the average person just blows it off.
这是我常常引用的，但是很多人把它根本不当回事。
Son los versos que yo hablo más en mis sermones, pero la gente promedio ni piensa de eso.
The natural man refers to an unconverted man, a carnal, unconverted person. Neither can he know them because they're spiritually discerned.
所以属血气的，也就是那些没有得到转变的人，他们并且不可能了解圣灵的事，因为灵眼闭塞了。
Ni las pueden entender porque se han de discernir espiritualmente.
The natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him, neither can he know them because they're spiritually discerned.
属血气的人，他们不领会圣灵的事，反倒以为愚拙，并且不能知道，因为他们的灵眼闭塞。
Mas el hombre animal no puede percibir las cosas que son del Espíritu de Dios porque son locura.
Now think about that.
想想，
Piensa de eso.
One night, I preached a sermon on 3 verses that will prevent all church splits. I preached the 3 verses, and not one of the people that left even thought about them. Why? Because they're not converted, or they're carnal. They're so carnal they can't see the Word of God. There's a veil over their face, over their brain, actually over their heart.
有天晚上我讲
A
了
veil put there by the devil.
讲过3节经文，就是这3节经文讲能够阻碍或者阻止教会分裂，结果那些离开教会的人没有听进去1节经文。
Hablé de 3 versos de ser la iglesia fuerte, pero esos carnales o no convertidos a que se fueron en quebrantamiento no escucharon esos versos.
I well remember before I was converted, being in a church, the American church in Huntington Park, where I didn't get anything out of it. I don't remember anything.
我还记得曾经有那么时刻，在美国进行教会里面，当时我们要得转变的时候，听了那么多次道，一句话都没听进去。
Me recuerdo estando en la iglesia americana donde no entendía nada.
The pastor was a nice old man.
教牧师呢是个很不错的个老头子
Pastor, un hombre de amable de edad,
Dr. Walter Pegg.
，Walter Pegg，
el señor Walter Pegg.
Dr. Walter Pegg, P-E-G-G.
Walter Pegg，
Walter Arthur Pegg. He was an Englishman, and he was a
Speaking
very nice old man.
很不错的老头子。
Un inglés, hombre gran caballero.
But I didn't get one iota of good out of anything he preached.
但从 Walter Pegg 讲道中间，我没有听进去一句话。
Pero no me ayudó nada, lo más mínimo lo que él predicó.
And I was trying to.
我是还努力过的，
Yo trataba
I was trying to listen to it.
仔细听，
de escuchar.
My mind was sealed
但
Mi mente estaba fija,
by the devil.
我的心灵完全蒙蔽了，闭塞了。
sellado por el diablo.
I remember one time when we took communion there,
一次我们吃圣餐，
Recuerdo una vez cuando tomamos comunión,
singing a song.
唱首歌
Break thou the bread of life, Lord, unto me, as thou didst break the bread by Galilee. I thought, what is that? I still remember the words to it, but I thought, what does it mean? As thou didst break the bread at Galilee. I didn't know anything. I didn't know Galilee was a lake. It's not really a sea, you know, it's a lake. I didn't even know that. I didn't know where it was or what they were talking about.
他们
Or
唱
what the
的
Lord's Supper was. It seemed like a pagan thing to me.
对我来
Be
讲，
drinking the body, eating the bread, body, and drinking the blood of Christ. What a strange thing to do. What are these people doing?
我记得曾有这么的概念，
They
说他
explained it, but it didn't go into my mind.
hablando de quebrar el pan, de que se quebró en Galilea, yo no sabía de que eso era un mar o un lago, pero la cosa es que ellos hablaban de cuerpo y sangre y pensé que gente rara estas.
You can see, and some of you guys that are leaders in the church are already forgotten, Romans 16, 17, and 18. And yet that's the most important verse for this church, a most important verse, because this church has been racked and practically ruined by church splits. And yet the verses that apply to the main problem of this church are quickly forgotten by those who are in leadership. They couldn't say the words, they stumbled over them.
这个教会的领导，他们完全忘罗
The
马
most
书。
important verses for this church, the leaders stumbled over them, the deacons and so forth.
那些执事们，他们根本就不记得这个罗马书16章17、18节了。
Oh,
Los
he's quoting
16,
that again.
17 son versos de que aún los líderes, los diáconos no saben.
Bored with it. Oh, he's quoting that again.
他们一听到了以后，就好像这个非常枯燥，又一次引用。
Aburridos de que está citando eso de nuevo.
More people will go to hell. Move over this way so I can see Mrs. Olivachi's face, please. Yeah, that's good. I like to see people's faces when I'm talking to them. More people will go to hell because those verses were forgotten than any other reason in this church.
在我们教
And
会，
yet the leaders couldn't remember the words.
任何人他们下地狱的人数，就是因为他们忘记了这些经文，比其他的经文都多。
Más gente irá del infierno por causa de que la gente no se recuerda en esos versos en los líderes.
I'll give you another instance.
另一个例子，
Otro ejemplo.
I have preached till I was blue in the face to the Spanish people. Jesus is not God the Father.
我宣导讲的，就是好像这是脸都讲清了，就是这个耶稣并不是父神。
He predicado largo diciendo de que Jesús no es Dios el Padre.
Cristo is not Jesus.
Cristo 不是耶稣，
Cristo no es Jesús.
And yet they looked with wonder the other night like they'd never heard it.
但那天晚上他们仍然带着惊奇的眼光。
Probably happened.
Mira que son parados la otra noche como que si nunca lo habían
That's
escuchado.
a key concept for winning Hispanic people. Because they all culturally think that Jesus is God the Father and he's mean.
对信
How are you
息
going to trust somebody that's mean? Cristo. Cristo is Satan.
在他们心目中，Cristo 是耶稣，却是撒旦的形象，非常
Ellos
严
piensan
厉
de。que Cristo es enojado, como vas a confiar en alguien que está enojado contigo, Cristo es Satanás.
Cristo is Satan. It's not Christ.
Cristo 并非耶稣基督，
Cristo es Satanás, no es Jesús.
But that concept seemed to fly over their heads. The other night I noticed the ladies were looking at each other like they never heard it.
但对他们来讲，对西语系的人讲，他们这个 Cristo 对他们就是他文化中间的
Cristo, not Cristo.
La otra noche me fijé de que las mujeres estaban mirando uno al otro cuando dije Cristo por causa de que como que si nunca habían escuchado.
So what we put into our minds
因此，我们心灵中所思考的，
Lo que se pone en la mente,
what we think in our minds
心灵思考的，
determines our fate as a person. Whether we go to heaven or hell depends on what we think.
决定了我们未来的灵界的未来，就是上天国还是下地狱。
lo que ponemos en la mente decide si es que vamos al cielo o al infierno.
So what a man thinks in his heart, it really is very important.
所以一个人心里边所思维的非常重要。
Lo que el hombre piensa en su corazón es muy importante.
In essence, there is no sin except the sins of the mind, Dr. Tozer said.
陶树博士这样指出，实际上来讲呢，除了这心灵上面的犯罪，根本没有其他的罪行。
Dr. Tozer dijo de que no hay pecado menos que en la mente.
All sins have their root in the mind.
全部的罪恶都是以心灵上面的犯罪开始。
Todos pecados tienen su raíz en la mente.
The Bible says the carnal mind is enmity against God. It does not say the carnal mind has enmity toward God. It says the carnal mind is enmity toward God.
圣经讲体贴肉体的，就是与神为仇。这里不是心存敌意，而是这个本身属肉体的，就是敌。
La mente carnal es enemistad contra Dios.
I have got really bad arthritis in this knee. It's really bad. It's so bad I can hardly get in and out of bed now. But it's just as well, because if I didn't have it, I'd be standing up and yelling, preaching. People don't get anything. They applaud. All that should be in the past because they didn't learn anything.
在我
You
过
can
去，
applaud it. I've seen people stand up and applaud until their pants would fall off, and then leave the church the next day
我听
over
了
the same issue they applauded the night before.
听了很多人在那边鼓掌，他们站起来等等。
Emotional people.
He visto gente aplaudir con gran emoción, pero la cosa es que se van el próximo día, aunque sobre la misma cosa que aplaudieron la noche antes.
Because the carnal mind is enmity toward God.
因为体贴肉体的本身就是敌人。
La mente carnal es enemistad contra
In
Dios.
today's apostasy, even many, it just frightens me. Many of our Baptist preachers have a carnal mind. They're not converted.
在如今离道反教中，有很多浸信会，他们那些传教士就是属肉体的人。
En la apostasía hay muchos bautistas, predicadores, tienen mente carnal, no son
When the
convertidos.
scriptures speak of the mind, they do not refer to the intellect alone.
当经卷里面提到心灵的时候，它不仅仅指的是人的理智。
Cuando la escritura habla de la mente, no refiere al intelecto solamente.
The mind of a carnal person is against God.
也属血气的人，他们的本身思维就是与神背道而驰的。
La mente del carnal está en contra de Dios.
That includes the personality, the will, the spiritual understanding, and the sympathies, as well as the intellect.
这包括人的人格、意志和灵界的认知和一切的情趣，包括他的理智在内。
Eso incluye la personalidad, voluntad, comprensión espiritual, simpatía y intelecto.
All are naturally enmity against God.
一切都很自然与神为仇。
Todo enemistad contra Dios.
Romans 8:7.
罗马书8章7节。
En Romanos
In the
8:7.
days of Noah, God saw the wickedness of man was great in the earth.
在挪亚时代，神看向人间的罪恶极大。
En los días de Noé, Dios vio de que la iniquidad del hombre era grande en la tierra.
God saw on the inside what man could only see on the outside.
神看到了这个内心，而人呢看到是外表。
Dios vio para dentro lo que solamente se puede mirar por afuera del hombre.
In Genesis 6:5, we read, every imagination of the thoughts of man's heart was only evil continually.
创世纪6章5节这样描述到：人心呢，却是终日所思想的尽都是恶。
En Génesis 6:5 vemos de que todo designio de pensamiento del corazón de ellos era continuo solamente el mal.
Some well-meaning preachers take that to mean they were committing wild sexual orgies and false cults and killing each other, but they weren't.
他们很多那些牧师呢，他们总以为这是他们就互相的乱搞关系啊，或者互相残杀，没有。
Algunos predicadores que tratan de ser bien dicen de que bueno se estaban teniendo sexo a esta gente, orgías, matanzas, cosas, pero no estaban haciendo eso.
Jesus said they were eating, drinking, marrying, and giving in marriage. What's wrong with that? Sounds fairly wholesome.
耶稣讲他们就是吃喝嫁娶，没有什么错事儿。
Estamos comiendo, viviendo, no sin casamiento, de que está mal con eso.
But God saw inside the head, inside the heart.
但神看到他们内心，
Pero Dios vio adentro del corazón de la cabeza.
Every imagination of the thoughts of man's heart was only evil continually.
当时那些世人终日所思想的尽都是恶。
Todo designo del pensamiento del corazón de ellos continúa solamente el mal.
They couldn't get it.
他们根本无法理解。
No
It,
pueden
it was
entender.
a simple message, and it was not a new message.
很简单的信息，并不新鲜。
Mensaje simple no era nuevo.
Enoch, the seventh from Adam, had been preaching it for a long time, a few hundred years.
亚当的七世孙就是以诺，已经是讲了很多年了。
Enoch, el séptimo de Adán, estaba predicándolo por años.
Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000 of his saints to execute judgment.
主会
It's
必带
recorded in the book of Jude, the topic of his sermons.
千万圣者必跟随着主来到人间来审判世间。
Y acá del Señor viene con 10,000 de ángeles para hacer juicio, tal como se ve en Judas.
But they went right on eating, drinking, marrying, giving in marriage, till the flood came, and knew not until the flood came and swept them all away. Why didn't they know it? They knew it in their mind, but their mind was polluted and blind.
但那些人仍然是吃喝嫁娶，根本不知不觉的，这洪水来把他们都带走。为什么不知道？他们虽然理智上知道，根本没有入心。
Continuaron hasta el último momento, pero sabían en la mente, pero era cochina.
Every imagination of the thoughts of their heart was only evil continually. From this verse we see that sin has its roots in the mind.
从这节经文我们可以看到，人的罪孽源于人的内心。
Malos pensamientos, y se ve de aquí de que eso es la mente.
It is from the mind that sin defiles the emotions, the intellect, and the will.
恶从心起之后，便玷污了人的情感、智慧和意志。
Es en la mente de que se hace cochina la emoción, intelecto, voluntad.
In short, all sin entered in the mind, is centered in the mind, and known in the Bible as the heart. That's why Jesus said, out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witnesses, blasphemy.
简而言之呢，一切的罪恶都是由心而出。那就是为什么耶稣这样指出，因
Notice
为
the
从
order that he gave it.
Porque del corazón salen los malos pensamientos, los homicidios, los adúlteros, los fornicarios, los huertos, los falsos testimonios, las blasfemias.
Out of the heart proceed evil thoughts. That's number one.
因为从心里发出来就有恶念，这是第一点。
Los malos pensamientos, las cosas del corazón.
Evil thoughts come before every act of sin.
恶念就是在一切的罪行发生之前就产生了。
Malos pensamientos vienen antes de cada acto de pecado.
Very few sins are committed before the thought is first incubated in the mind.
恶念在人心中酿成之前，人很少能犯出罪行。
Pocos pecados se hacen antes de que se vean primero en la mente.
Take John Waldrop, for instance.
我们列举约翰·瓦德利普作为一个例子。
Tomamos por ejemplo a John Walter.
His decision to help Chan split our church started with Waldrop thinking about the insults he thought, the wrongs he thought that I had supposedly done to him.
他决定去帮助那个陈氏去分裂我们教会呢，从他认为我做错了什么事儿，虐待了他，或者做错了就是我的错处开始，他思考。
Él ayudando en el quebrantamiento empezó con los tal llamados insultos que pensó de que se habían ocurrido.
For instance, he tried on several occasions to get me to support Ramsey Kamar.
比如讲几次呢，他让我去支持他手下的一个叫 Ramsey Kamar 的一个人，
Por ejemplo, trató varias veces de que yo apoyara a Ramsey Kamar,
His best friend
他最好的朋友，
amigo bueno,
and so-called missionary to Israel, to Jerusalem.
所谓去耶路撒冷的传教士。
tal llamado misionero a Jerusalén.
I checked him out carefully. He didn't even have a church in Jerusalem.
仔细查一查，他根本在耶路撒冷没有教会。
Chan himself went to look for it and couldn't find it. He searched for it.
姓陈
No
的他
church.
Y él no tenía una iglesia ya en Jerusalén y aún Chan buscó y no lo encontró.
And yet, Kamar drove a new Cadillac in America, kept it in America, had a house in America, as well as one in Israel. Now, how can he do that?
然而 Kamar 呢，在
Well, he did it.
美国
But he
有
wasn't a
房，
missionary. He was a liar and a thief.
Kamar tenía carro nuevo a Cadillac cada año y casa acá en América y casa en Israel por causa de que era ladrón y mentiroso.
Those are facts.
这事实，他
I've,
根本是说谎。
I spent some time figuring it out. But I didn't tell Walt, I didn't fight with him. I just said, no, I'm not going to support Kamar. I'm supporting the other man. What's the other man's name? Naim Khoury. Move over where I can see your face, doctor. You're hidden there. Yeah, that's good. You got a good face. Better than Ramsey Kamar's. A strange man. The last time I had lunch with John, he had Ramsey Kamar there, and they hovered over me. Great, big, giant men, 400 pounds apiece, like sumo wrestlers. They hovered over me and tried to force me to say I would support Ramsey Kamar. I said, I will not support him. I'm not going to. I didn't say why. I never said why. I just said, no, I'm not going to support him because I'm already supporting Naim Khoury. Naim Khoury is a terrible man. No, he's not. I've preached in his church. He's not a terrible man. He has a church building, First Baptist Church of Bethlehem. He got a nice crowd of people. We just went there without announcing that we're going to be there. And he says, why don't you speak this evening? And I spoke that evening to a good crowd of people.
当时我没有就是支持这个支持这个那大胖子，但是我支持的是一个叫拿因寇瑞。我曾经去耶路撒冷见到他的教会，在那教会们讲过道，我知道那是真实的教会。
Y el otro de Curry estuve ahí con ellos. Fui en la iglesia de él en Jerusalén y anuncié de que iba a venir, vine y me dijo predica esa noche, gran hombre.
Well, mostly because I wouldn't support Kafka. Kafka, what's his name? Kamar. Kafka, yeah, Franz Kafka, yeah, right.
我就是没有去支持孔茂，因为党英奎是我们的传教士。
Pero es por causa de enojado conmigo porque no apoyaba a Ramsey Kumar.
After months of brooding over my shortcomings, Waldrop saw the opportunity to do me harm,
这个
and
在
punish me for not giving money to his friend.
在他思考了我的缺陷几个月之后呢，这华多利普看到了报复的机会了。
Después de ver meses de estar enojado, vio oportunidad para castigarme por no apoyar al amigo de él.
In this way, Waldrop's mind was prepared by the devil to do his evil deed in helping Chan to split our church.
如此呢，魔鬼
I'll
在
get that, Hymers.
摩德利普心里面做好了准备，才做出了如此去协助陈氏分裂我们教会的这个
It
丑
is
事。
so sad.
Si el diablo preparó la mente de Waldrop para hacer mal contra nosotros.
I tried my very dead level best not to have a fight with Waldrop, but he was bound and determined to really hurt me, as Saul was very, very set on killing David.
我尽了一切努力跟这个摩德利普恢复这种关系友好的关系，但他的一个心里面一个定了主意要跟我作对，就像这个扫罗一定要杀死大卫一样。
Es triste, Waldrop quería dañarme, tal como Saúl quería dañar a David.
Now, what you're hearing tonight is the truth.
你今天晚上听都是实话，
I
Escuchas
don't
noches
care
la
what you
verdad.
hear from them.
不管他们在那告诉你什么，
Dr.
importa lo que
Kagan
escuche de
was
ellos.
on the inside. He knows I'm telling the truth.
Kagan?
Leslie does. I don't know. Several people know that I'm telling the truth on this.
其他人都知道。
Whatever they say is partial truth
Y
or
el-
not true at all.
他们告诉你，或者是半真半假，或者根本就是谎话。
What reason would
Dr.
I have to
Kagan
lie
sí
about it?
sabe de que es verdad lo que estoy diciendo, pero lo que ellos están diciendo es mitad verdad.
See, Waldrop likes to say that, Hymers is a little bit weird. Nobody gets along with him. I don't know. My wife gets along with me. That's pretty important,
有些人，我只总说那姓海博士呢，他好像非常奇怪的一个人，没有人能够跟他合得来。
Y la gente dice de que nadie se cae bien con Dr. Hymers, pero la cosa es de que, bueno, mi esposa me cae bien.
Mrs.
conmigo.
Prudhomme gets along with me. She's pretty important to me.
而其他的人，我太太跟我合得来啊，或者是普通太太跟我合得来。
La señora Prudhomme está bien también, eso es muy importante.
But Waldrop was thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and brooding over my shortcomings for not supporting his friend financially.
结果华德利普呢，就因为我没有去支持他手下那个和他一起的酒肉朋友，他非常
Turn that
恼怒
cooler。up.
Walter estaba pensando enojado porque yo no ayudaba a su amigo.
So the brooding thoughts that he kept going over in his mind went until he saw an opportunity to harm me.
最后他找到了机会来伤害我。
Ese pensamiento continuó hasta que dio oportunidad para dañarme.
In this way, Waldrop's mind was prepared by the devil to do his evil deed in helping Chan to split our church.
因此，华德利普他的心灵被魔鬼准备好了以后，就帮助陈氏来分裂我们教会。
Waldrop fue usado por el diablo para ayudar a Chen a quebrantar la iglesia.
Now, the problem is this. Waldrop was one of the closest friends I've ever had. I liked him very much.
问题就是华德利普是我最好的朋友之一。
El problema es este, de que Waldrop fue uno de mis amigos más cercanos que tuve.
I spent time with him at least twice a week. We talked on the phone every day. He used to say, Hymers and I are Siamese twins. We're joined at the hip. We might have been joined at the hip, but we weren't joined in the heart.
常常呢，我们在那么互相谈话，每天都打电话，而且每礼拜见2次。他常常讲，我们是确实是那个双胞胎，这个屁股腰的们都连在一起的。
Y la cosa es de que Waldrop antes yo lo visitaba como 2 veces a la semana y hablábamos cada día. Él decía de que no hemos conectado en la coyuntura como gemelos, pero quizás ahí, pero no en el corazón.
Waldrop wrote a beautiful introduction to our book, Today's Apostasy.
而且我们
It
写了
still
一本书，
appears there.
他写了一个介绍，很好。
Waldrop escribió una bella introducción al libro de la apostasía de hoy.
But as he meditated on me not supporting his friend, 2 Cadillacs. I would be so ashamed to have 1 new Cadillac. I wouldn't know what to do. I'd want to hide it. What am I doing? What are you doing, preacher, with a new Cadillac? 2 of them, 1 here and 1 in Israel, and 2 houses. one in Israel and one here. Houses that he bought, not rented. What is this but what the Jews call a gonoth, a thief?
但是在他的手下呢，有2个房子，一个在以色列，一个在美国，在加州，而且2个开得来全新的车。如果是我的话，我都怕走出去。
Dos casas que compró, de Cadillacs que compró, uno allá y otro acá. ¿Qué es esto menos que lo que los judíos llaman un ganef, que es ladrón?
I never divulged that to John Walker. Never. I never told him, your friend is a thief. I never told him that. Never. He's never heard it from me to this day.
我从来没有
I
对
just wouldn't give him money from this church. Aren't you glad? Would you like to give money to him? Ramsey Kamar, he's listed in the directory. Give him money. But don't let me know about it.
所以你们很高兴，我没有把这个金，我们
Might
教
as
会
well
的钱
give
给
money
他
to
Le di
the
dinero a
Ayatollah.
él de la iglesia.
So the Bible says, as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7.
圣经里面这样讲，人心是怎么样去思维的，他这个人又做出的行为如何。
Porque cuál es su pensamiento en su corazón, tal es él. Proverbios 23:7.
Dr. A.W. Tozer, I'm feasting on him. Oh, my goodness. If you young people don't read Tozer, you are really making a mistake.
陶树博士是非常好的一
A
位作
huge
家，
mistake.
不读他简直是个犯错误。
Si usted no leen Tozer, están haciendo un gran error.
He built his church in Chicago on college students and Bible study and seminary students. They came by the hundreds and even thousands to hear him. He is a young person's preacher. You're making a big mistake if you don't read him.
如果你不读他的话，就犯一大错误，因为他是确实年轻人的牧师。
Hizo error.
A huge mistake.
Tú haces error si no lees a Tozer por causa de que él era predicador de jóvenes universitario y de seminario en Chicago.
Now, Dr. Tozer has been dead for a long time. He died in 1964. He's the only up-to-date youth speaker that I know of that will really do young people good. I don't say that lightly. I don't think I've ever said it about any other person, have I, Doctor?
投手博士是
Read Tozer, and he will help you.
能够对现今的年轻人确实有所说的。他们一个年轻人确实没有任何其他的作家，我可以这样讲。
Lee Tozer, él te ayudará a ustedes jóvenes.
So, Tozer said, moral conduct originates deep within the mind.
陶树博士这样指出，道德的行为源于心灵深处。
Tozer dijo de que el conducto moral está profundo en la mente.
Moral conduct, that means being a good Christian, originates deep within the mind.
道德的行为源于心灵深处，做好的基督徒都是由心而出。
Conducto moral viene profundo en la mente.
Consider what Chan did.
另外再考虑一下陈氏做的事儿。
Considera lo que hizo Chan.
This is the odd part, because Chan was the one that discovered he actually went to Jerusalem and went to the address that Kamar gave and proved that there was no church there. Chan himself did. He said, Dr. Hymers, there's no church there. I said, I told you.
所以说，陈医生本人去到耶路撒冷，按照 Ramsey Kamar 给的地址找不到教
And
会。
Chan said, that's...
Chan fue a la dirección donde dijo Ramsey Kamar que había iglesia y vio que no había iglesia.
And Dr. Chan said, that's horrible. I said, oh, indeed.
确实很糟糕，太可
He
怕
said,
了。
what are you going to
Eso
do
es
about it? I
horrible.
said, nothing.
你说
Not my business.
该干什么呢？我说无所谓，我根本不想去找他的茬儿。
Que vas a hacer nada, no es negocio de él.
But Chan had things going on in his mind, too.
但陈氏自己心里边也有他的这个一些小主意。
Pero Chan tenía cosas en su mente también.
He was bitter at me. Bitter, because I told him the truth.
因为我告他的实话，他内心含有苦毒。
Amargo conmigo porque le dije la verdad.
I wanted to make Chan the pastor of this church, and God knows that, and so does Dr. Kagan.
当时大家都知道，我已经准备让陈氏接任这个教会做牧师的。
Quería ser Chan pastor de la iglesia, Dios lo sabe, y también Dr. Kagan.
Now we'd go and start another church.
他说要去开创那个教会，
Ahora vamos a empezar otra iglesia.
But I found that Chan couldn't win anybody to Christ. He never won anybody to Christ after Melissa Shapiro, Melissa Sanders. Not another person in 40 years, not one.
但我发现，在他带进了门勒萨来
If,
教
if
会
he
之
did
后，
win one, tell me who it was.
没有一个人他带进来。
Solamente ganó Melissa Shapiro en 40 años.
So I thought, now here's a man that never wins anybody to Christ. He does all this evangelism, huge numbers of them, but he never wins anybody to Christ. How can he be the pastor of a church?
结果我就问自己说，如果他做了那么多的传道工作、外出传福音等等，带了那么多性命，却没有一个人让他带来信主，他怎么能做牧师呢？
Y pensé cómo es que de que hace tanto evangelismo, de traer nombres y todo, pero nunca gana a nadie, ¿cómo puede ser pastor de
So I
iglesia?
finally thought, I'll really test him because I don't want to make a mistake on this.
结果最后呢，我就想确实要试探一下他，我不想做犯
Pensé, lo
错，
voy a probar, no quiero hacer error.
So we put both Oriental classes together,
把两个东方小组
OC1 and OC2. We made it one class.
加在一起。
Pusimos las dos clases orientales,
Mr.
una y
Song
dos
remembers
juntas.
that he was in it.
所以宋先生都记得，曾经有这个东方小组一和
And
二，
I
Song
wait-
se recuerda estaba ahí.
And I waited 5 years. 5 years.
让他管理
5
了5
años
年，
And he hadn't added one person, not one convert,
却没有
in
一
5 years.
5年没有
All of this evangelism going on. So one night I said to him, you haven't added anybody in 5 years. He said, oh, yes, I have. Who? And he named some people. I said, they're not on this list. It's the list of regulars.
他说他等等等等，我带来了多少人的，但是这些真正他所知道带来的人没有在我们教会的名单上。
Le dije que no has agregado nadie, dijo sí, pero la gente que él dijo no estaba en la lista
I
de
said, let's
regulares.
talk it over. So I said, you know, Dr. Chan, you are a wonderful man.
我就讲，
I praised him highly, always. I said, you're a wonderful man, but you're not a preacher.
我跟他讲得很清楚，你是一个很好的一个人，作为一个人来讲是一个很善良的一个人，但你不是一个宣道士。
Le dije, Dr. Chan, tú eres un hombre bueno, pero no eres predicador.
Hang around and you'll have a very important job in this church, but it won't be as a preacher.
继续待下来，这是教会
Because you
里。
can't do it. I waited for you now. By that time it was about 30 years. I waited for you 30 years to add somebody. You never added anybody after Melissa Sanders.
在当时，
35, that'd be 43 years ago now.
Esperé muchos años, pero solamente a Melissa Sanders en 43 años.
So he said, okay.
我跟他讲说，你不可能得人，你不会得人，所以他说好啊，
Y dije, está bien,
But not in his heart.
但他心里边却没有同意。
pero no en el corazón.
In his heart, he thought, I have to be a preacher. Like King Saul said, I have to be the greatest leader of all. I can't have that David doing more than me. Rah, 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 rah. A root of bitterness springing up. Many are defiled, the Bible says.
结果他们心中存有苦毒，结果污染了他的内心。圣经这样指出。
En el corazón hay esa raíz de amargura que mancha a muchos.
Now, I'm putting this on the internet, so you can look at it on the internet. So can Chan. If I'm telling something not true, prove it.
如果我讲的任何事情不真实的话，你可以证明一下。
Lo estoy poniendo en la internet y te lo puedes mirar ahí, Chan, y si tú diciendo algo que no es
Same
verdad,
with Walter.
muéstralo. Igual con Walter.
Prove it. Prove that Ramsey Kamar has a mission in Jerusalem.
你可以证明一下 Ramsey Kamar 在耶路撒冷有个教会。
Prueba de que Ramsey Kamar no tiene misión en Israel.
So, Dr. Chan went to Walter. What an odd thing to do.
结果陈医生找到了华多利普，多么奇怪的事儿！
Dr. Chan fue a Walter, porque qué cosa más rara que hacer.
6 months before, Walter ran Chan and me, had his deacon run Chan and me off the property. We're going to call the police if you don't get off the property. But then, Chan went back to him, sneaked back to talk to him.
6个月之前，他还仍然呢华多利普曾经用他的执事把我们从他们教会里面赶出来。现在呢，这个陈医生就回过头来找他。
6 meses después de que fue corrido de la iglesia ahí de Chan por el diácono, entonces regresó para ahí hablar con Walter.
And Chan did this about 2 years before the split. So he'd been doing this for months and months and months, going to see Walter, talking on the phone with him and so forth. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he.
人心怎样思量，他为人也是怎样。
Por
所以
años hizo eso, pero como piensa el hombre en su corazón, así hace.
Chan knew that Walter was bitter against me.
陈氏知道这个华多利普对我怀有苦毒，
Chan sabía de que Walter estaba amargo contra mí.
And Chan thought about this for months.
而陈氏思忖了这个好多个月。
Chan pensó de eso por meses.
I'll prove it to you.
我可以向你证明，
A
Most
year and a
ready.
half before the split, we had meetings for revival, and Dr. Chan got down on his knees and cried and wept and pounded the floor and screamed and said, I've sinned against this church. I've been mad against Dr. Hymers. I want to be a preacher, and I'm not called to be a preacher. Do you remember that, Wesley? Absolutely. Anybody else remember it? Everybody remembers it.
在这之前，我们1年半左右呢，我们曾经在教会有过这么一个复兴的聚会，陈医生曾经当众承认自己
But it
有
was false
Hace como un año y
repentance.
medio, Chan se tiró en el piso gritando de que estaba amargo pero no había sido llamado a ser predicador.
It was false repentance like Judas. Judas threw the money back at the priests, but he didn't really repent because he went out and hanged himself.
就像犹大一样，他假的这个悔改，他把这金钱呢还给了这个圣殿里面这个牧师，那些神父之后，他自己就上吊自杀了。
Falso arrepentimiento, tal como Judas que regresó el dinero a los sacerdotes.
So Chan confessed in front of this whole church that he was bitter at me. Many of you remember it. You put your hands up.
Chan
But he kept
confesó
on
frente a la
being
iglesia
bitter.
entera.
他继续怀有苦毒
And
之
then
心。
now he's talking about it
现在
with
他
Walter secretly.
秘密中间跟华多利普去谈论这个事儿。
Pero hablando secretamente con Walter.
Thus Chan hid from me his bitterness and plotted how he could steal some of our people so he could preach to them.
因此，陈氏向我隐瞒了自己心中的苦毒，并计划好如何能偷走我们一些人，建立他自己的教会去传道。
Chan escondió su amargura y cómo podía robar a alguna de la gente.
Dr. Tozer said the thoughts dwell on an act.
陶树博士指出，思念会逗留在某种行为上，
Tozer dijo de que los pensamientos están en el acto.
This stirs the affections,
这能激起情绪，
Esto mueve las afecciones,
which finally trigger the will to act.
最终那触发了采取行动的意愿。
que finalmente hace la voluntad de actuar.
Now listen to this. I'm quoting Dr. Tozer. They called him a prophet in his own lifetime. The sin that follows will be so obviously of the flesh that no one would dream it began as a thought in the heart.
随之而来的罪行显而易见是属肉体
Did you hear
的
that?，
以至于人做梦都想不到它始于内心的思念。
El acto que se ve de resultado es tan carnal de que nadie pensaría de que vino de un pensamiento de la mente.
Tozer said the rich fool thought within himself.
投射指出，那位无知的财主自己心里面思想，
Entonces habló del necio del rico, pensó dentro de sí.
And as a result took a course of action that cost him his soul.
结果采取了一系列的行动，最终丧失了灵魂。
Como resultado tomó acción de que le costó el alma.
A few women in our church were so agitated by the church split that they thought within themselves that they would harm their child, that I would harm their child.
我们教会里面有几位女士，因为教会的分裂异常激动，以至于她们自己心里面思想，我牧师可能会伤及他们的孩子，
So they told their children not to listen to me.
于是告孩子
And,
不要
and
听
a
牧
couple of
师。
those women are here tonight.
Algunas de las
And you
mujeres,
know who you are, and I'm exposing your thoughts. Why not?
algunas de las mujeres están pensando de que iban a dañar a los niños, a poner los niños en contra de mí. Yo sé que algunas están acá y estoy mostrándolo.
Thus, a woman like that forgot, and so did the son forget what Jesus said.
于是这样的女士呢，她忘了，她们的孩子也忘了，就是耶稣是怎么说的。
Y tal mujer se le olvidó lo que dijo Jesús y también el Hijo.
A man's enemies shall be they of his own household.
耶稣说，人的仇敌就是自己家里的人。
Los enemigos del hombre serán de su casa.
He that loveth mother more than me is not worthy of me. Matthew 10:36 and 37.
爱父母过于爱我的，不配做我的门徒。马太福音10章36和37节。
El que ama madre más que mí no es digno de mí. En breve Mateo 10, 36, 37.
One mother like that forgot the words of Ephesians 5:24. As the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Italics mine.
一位这样的母亲忘了以弗所书5章24节里面这样讲的说，教会我们该怎样服从基督，妻子也要怎样服侍丈夫。
Una madre aún se le olvidó de Efesios 5:24. La iglesia es sujeta a Cristo, así también las casadas desten a sus maridos en todo.
So her son was pulled back and forth between the carnal mother and the spiritual father.
于是这个儿子在属血气的母亲和属灵的父亲之间呢犹豫不定。
El hijo arrastrado entre la madre carnal y el padre espiritual.
At last he gave in to his mother, refused to hear his father, and refused to hear the pastor.
最终他向母亲让了步，拒绝听从父亲的话，背弃了牧师的指点。
Al fin se rindió de la madre y no escuchó al pastor o su padre.
He left the church with his mother as his only guide.
结果最终他离开了教会，以母亲作为他的唯一的向导。
Se fue de la iglesia con la madre como la única guía.
He followed her into a new evangelical church.
他跟随母亲进了一所新福音派教会。
La siguió de una nueva evangélica.
He lost the faith of his father and became a weak new evangelical.
他丧失了自己父亲的信仰，成为一个软弱的新福音派教徒。
Perdió la fe de su padre y se hizo nuevo evangélico débil.
Such a mother should follow the example of Mary, the mother of Jesus.
这样的母亲应该跟随耶稣的母亲玛利亚的榜样。
Tal madre debe decir el ejemplo de María, la madre de Jesús.
She said of her son, "Whatsoever he saith unto you, do it." John 2:5.
他玛利亚提到自己的儿子耶稣的时候这样讲：他告诉你们什么，你们都应该去做什么。约翰福音2章5节。
Dijo de él, haced todo lo que os dijere, Juan 2:5.
The Bible says, "Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands." Proverbs 14:1.
圣经这样讲：智慧妇人建立家室，愚妄妇人亲手拆毁。箴言14章1节。
La mujer sabia edifica su casa, mas la necia con su mano la derriba.
Now, there's no transference of knowledge from one area to another. Even though the woman is a medical doctor, she has no spirituality whatsoever.
知识不可能从一个领域转到另一个领域。虽然你很聪明，是一个医生，他仍然得不到这样灵界的智慧。
No se traslada el conocimiento de un lado al otro, aunque es doctora médica, no sabe nada espiritual.
The foolish plucketh it down with their hands. Proverbs 14:1.
所以说，这愚昧的妇人亲手拆毁自己的房屋。
La necia con su mano la derriba, Proverbios 14:1.
He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed.
与智慧人同行的必得智慧，和愚昧人作伴的必受亏损。
El que anda con sabios, sabio será, mas el que se junta con necios será quebrantado.
Are you trying to put a wedge between? There's 2 or 3 of them here tonight. Are you trying to put a wedge between the mother and her children? No, I'm not trying to put a wedge between them. The mothers are putting the wedge. The natural thing is for a mother to want the pastor to help the children be good Christians. That's the natural thing.
很多
If
人
you
讲
read a little church history instead of the TV guide, you'll know that. The natural thing throughout Protestant history is for the mother to back the pastor up as he leads the children into deeper Christian work and life. And a mother that doesn't do that is unscriptural. After all, why is she in a new evangelical church instead of here?
如果一个母亲没有去真正按照自己的就是牧师的指点去教这个孩子的时候，就是不符合灵界，不符合圣经。
Está tratando de poner división entre la madre y el hijo, no, pero la cosa es que la madre está tratando de hacer eso. Mira la iglesia, la historia de la iglesia, las madres siempre han apoyado a los pastores ayudando a los hijos.
Let me state one uncontrovertible fact.
我再讲个事实，
Deben decir un hecho verdadero.
The women in this church have lost all of their children. The only woman that kept her children is my wife. The only one. And both of her sons are here tonight. The only one is my wife.
唯一守住了
That
自己，
should tell you a lot.
就是我妻子的一直保住了自己的孩子，仍在教会里面，其他的全部的女士都丢失了他们的孩子。
Las mujeres en esta iglesia han perdido todos los hijos. La única que sabe que los hijos se han quedado es mi esposa. Eso te dice mucho.
Will you move a little bit this way, please, Bob? Robert, did anybody ever call you Bob?
No.
They used to call me Bob. If you call me Bob, I'll ostracize you. You don't want to be ostracized, do you? That's bad. What does it mean? He doesn't know what it means, but it doesn't sound good. No, I won't ostracize you. Just don't do it. Don't call me Bob, and I won't call you Bob. Is that a bargain? Okay, all right. Everybody used to call me Bob.
不要称呼我爸爸，一称呼我爸，我让你离群。我告诉你，成了一个孤独的人。
I was old enough to be their grandfather, and they're calling me Bob.
我可以做他们爷爷，他们仍然是叫我爸。
No me gusta que me dicen Bob. Tenía edad de ser abuelo de ellos. Me dicen Bob.
The backslider in heart shall be filled with his own ways.
圣经还说，心中背道的必满得自己的结果。
El reincidido corazón estará lleno de sus propios caminos.
And a good man shall be satisfied from himself.
善人必从自己的行为得以知足。
Y el justo deseará bien.
Dr. W.A. Criswell said, the backslider finds his pleasures in going his own way, unquote,
奎瑟尔博士
regardless of ethical considerations. The good man is obviously contrasted, unquote.
奎瑟尔博士这样指出，心中背道总会在自己的举止中寻找这种快乐，无论在道德上的考虑如何，这者明显跟义人做对比。
El carnal sigue su propio pensamiento, pero de lo justo no es diferente.
Somebody said, why do you quote these men? I'll tell you why.
有些人为什么引
If
用
I
这
made
个？
these statements that I'm quoting these men, they would call me a cult leader. So I quote the great men when I was a little boy, when I was a young person. The great men of the past. They're dead.
我总是引用
Nobody called them a cult. Tozer? No. The most widely read pastor in America, and still is. The knowledge of the holy.
所以我引用的都是一些最广为人知的一些基督教的
Criswell,
作
the
者陶
pastor
树
of。the largest Baptist church in the world at the time.
奎瑟尔就是最大的一个浸信教会的牧师。
Y a Criswell, yo cito los antiguos por causa de que, por ejemplo, Tozer, nadie diría de que es falso.
Dr. A.W. Tozer said, all our acts are born out of our minds.
陶书这样指出，我们所有的举止都是出自我们的心灵。
Tozer dijo que todos nuestros actos vienen de la mente.
He said, this is clearly taught in the Word.
这是圣经明确教导。
Esto claramente enseñado en la palabra.
Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Proverbs 4:23.
因为箴言4章23节这样讲，要保守你的心，胜过保守一切，因为一生的果效由心发出。
Guarda tu corazón porque de él viene la vida. Proverbios 24:23.
The great Dr. Criswell said, the moral actions and attitudes of life are determined by the condition of our heart.
这个奎索尔博士这样指出，人生的道德与世界观由我们的心灵的状态来决定。
Criswell dijo de que la dirección es dirigida por causa de la condición moral del corazón.
The heart is the seat of one's affections and the center of moral consciousness, unquote.
心灵就是人感情的处所，是道德意识的中枢。
El corazón es la raíz de la conciencia y las acciones.
Almost through.
就
Point 2.
第二点，
Second, a real Christian does have power to control his thoughts.
真正的基督徒他有能力来控制
Don't
自己的
you?
思维。
Un cristiano real tiene poder para controlar sus
If you
pensamientos.
don't, maybe you ought to check yourself in across the street.
如果你无法控制自己的
A
思维，
real Christian has power to control his thoughts.
真正的基督徒可以控制好自己的思维。
El cristiano real tiene control para sus
Over the
pensamientos.
years, you will see the wisdom of rejecting emotions and feelings.
多年以来，也可以看到那些能压制自己的情感那些人，或者不去听从自己的这个感情用事的一些他们的智慧。
A través de los años verás la sabiduría de rechazar emoción y de lo que piensas.
The fixed heart goes right on obeying God and His Word.
那些稳定心灵的先继续服从神，服从圣经。
El corazón fijo continúa obedeciendo a Dios y su palabra.
In time, men and women whose hearts are fixed will become strong Christians like Mrs. Hymers and Dr. Kagan.
随着时间的推移，那些心念坚定的一些人成为坚强的基督徒，比如讲师母，还有这凯根博士。
En tiempo serán buenos cristianos tal como la señora Hymers y el doctor Kagan.
But those who follow their feelings will either apostatize or at best remain emotion-driven new evangelicals and charismatics.
但那些随从自己感情用事的一
Leave
些
it
人，
on the tape, I want to say it.
他们就是一些心中被盗的一些人，而且最后呢，成为一个感情用事新福音派那些人。
Pero eso que se hacen pues decía serán débil evangélicos o carismáticos.
Dr. Tozer said, God never intended that such a being as man should be the plaything of his feelings.
神从来陶树博士这样指出说，神从来没有说像人这么的一个被造之物呢，是作为感情上的玩物。没有，
Tozer dijo de que Dios nunca hizo propósito de que el hombre fuera guiado por lo que sentía.
Let me point out something interesting.
有意思的，我指出，
Mostrar algo interesante.
27 years
27年
27 años,
looking for a feeling.
寻找感情，
buscando sentir algo.
She finally, through great effort of mine and John Kagan, she got saved.
最后这位女士得救了。
A través de gran discurso.
Right away, she went with Chan.
马上跟着陈氏走了。
Now we
Enseguida fue
know
con Chan.
what's wrong with that person. 27 years going by her feelings. As soon as she got saved, gone with Chan. She's still going by her feelings. And nobody can be a good Christian who goes by their feelings instead of their brain.
没有一个人能够作为一个优秀的基督徒，除非他按照自己神的道去做，而不是按照自己的情感做事儿。
27 años siguiendo la emoción salva y entonces seguido con Chan nadie salvo que sigue la emoción.
Take the woman's daughter, 17 years going by her feelings.
结果他女儿呢，跟随自己的情感17年。
Toma la hija de la mujer de 17 años por lo que sentía.
Dr. Kagan and I finally worked her month after month, finally got her saved. What did she do? Bingo, she's with Chan.
结果最后17年之后呢，她得救了。对，马上一回头，她
Still
跟随
going
陈
by
氏
her
离开了。
emotions.
Trabajamos con ella.
I want to tell
17
you,
años.
these people that have such a terrible hard time getting saved are going by their feelings and will never be solid Christians. I'm going to tell you that. If you are going on and on and on and on making the same mistakes because you're going by your feelings, I'll tell you how I know that. How do I know it? We say, did you trust Christ? Yes. Are you saved? No. How do they know that? They're looking at themselves. They're not looking at Christ.
当我
They're
们
going by their feelings, and they will go to hell going with their feelings.
当我们问一些人，他们得救了没有？他很多人说不，还没有得救。为什么他自己知道呢？
They'll never be a solid Christian. No, never.
不可能成为坚强的基督徒。
Le preguntan de eres convertido, dicen que sí, como sabes, dicen que no son, la cosa es que sí buscan emoción, no son salvos.
Want to know how Dr. Tozer got saved?
陶树博士怎么得救呢？
¿Quieres saber cómo Tozer fue salvo?
17 years old,
17岁，
A los 17 años de edad,
working in a tire factory in Akron, Ohio. He's walking down the street.
结果他在
Here's
车
a
台，
man preaching from a soapbox.
他听到一个人站在这个盒子上面讲道。
17 años de edad, trabajando en una llantería de factoría en Akron, Ohio, hoy un hombre predicando en la calle cuando tenía 17.
The man said, "You're lost without Christ.
这个人说：“你没有基督的话，你是个迷途之人。
El hombre dijo, estás
Go
perdido
home
sin
and get in
Jesús.
your attic and get down on your knees and ask God for mercy through Christ."
回去以后上那个阁楼里边跪下，向基督祈求他的恩典。
Ve a la casa, ponte en la azotea hasta de que pide misericordia hasta y que
No
encuentre
counseling.
Jesús.
没有人引导
Not，one
consejo.
counsel.
没有一个人
Nada
做。
de consejo.
The 17-year-old boy went home,
17
went
岁，
up into his father's attic, got down on his knees, and asked God for mercy for Christ's sake. And he became A.W. Tozer.
结果他去到了父亲的阁楼上面跪下以后，请求耶稣基督的原谅。他就是后来的桃树。
Ese joven subió en la azotea de la casa del padre, fue salvo y ese fue Tozer.
Dr. Tozer said, quote, God never intended that such a thing as a man should be a plaything of his feelings.
陶树指出，神从来没有用意这样的用意，就是说像这么一个人这样的被造物，他的情感作为一个玩物。
Entonces dijo de que Dios nunca deseaba de que el hombre fuera guiado por su emoción.
The thoughts and intents of his heart are wrong, and as a consequence, the whole life is wrong.
当一个人的思念和他的心地错的时候，他整个的一生都会走错路。
El corazón está mal y por eso la vida entera está mal.
Read the scriptures every day and obey them.
天天要读经，而且服从。
Lee las escrituras cada día y obedécelas.
Your whole life will be tuned to sing the praises of him who loved us and washed us from our sins in his own blood.
你的一生就会在这个生
Unquote.
在诗歌中间度过，他就赞美那位用他的宝血洗净我们罪恶的人。
Tu vida va a estar junto con ese que nos amó, y nos salvó y nos lavó con su sangre.
Title of the sermon: True religion is not feeling but willing.
真正的基督，真正的信仰呢？他这个文章的文字，而是一个愿意，而不是感
Título
情。
del ensayo de esa religión verdadera es lo que no de emoción o lo que sientes, pero sino la Biblia.
Dr. Tozer said the will has the power to control the thoughts.
陶树博士指出，意志力能控制人的思维。
Entonces dijo de que la voluntad tiene derecho para dirigir los pensamientos.
If this were not so, Paul's word to the Philippians would be psychologically untenable.
若非如此的话，保罗对腓立比人所讲的话，从心理上便无从立足了。
Si no fuera así, entonces la palabra de Pablo a los filipenses no sería correcto.
For Paul said, finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. Philippians 4:8.
因为腓立比书4章8节这样讲：最后弟兄们，凡
How
是
could he
真，
tell them that if they didn't have the power to do it?
如果没有这个意志力去这样去做的话，他怎么能这样讲说？最后弟兄们，凡是真实的、可敬的、公义的、清洁的、可爱的、有美名的，若有什么德行，若有什么称赞，这些事都要去思念。
Pablo dijo por lo demás, hermano, todo lo que es verdadero, todo lo honesto, todo lo justo, todo lo puro, todo lo amable, todo lo que es buen nombre, si haya virtud de algunos, si alguno digno de alabanza, de en esto pensad. Filipenses 4:8.
Still reading Tozer. It is much more important that we think godly thoughts than that we feel spiritual.
所以说，陶叔说呢，我们定义去思考敬虔的思念，比自我感受所谓的属灵更为重要。
Más importante que pensemos espiritualmente de que en vez de sentir espiritual.
It is never safe to trust feelings.
信任情感永远都不安全。
Nunca seguro confiar en lo que tú sientes.
I repeat, it is never safe to trust them.
信任他从来不可靠。
Repito, nunca es bien seguro de confiarlos.
The safest man is the one who can say, my heart is fixed, trusting in the Lord.
Thank you for watching today's sermon.
感谢大家观看今天我们讲的道。
Gracias por mirar el sermón de hoy.
And if you are not saved, I urge you to come to Jesus.
如果你仍未得救的时候，我鼓励你、督促你信靠基督。
Si no eres salvo, te animo que vengas a Jesús.
When I was a young person, I went forward many times to be saved and to rededicate my life, but somehow I never got saved that way.
要在我年轻的时候，我许多次走到前面去得救，或者重新奉献我的一生，但是那样的方式一直没有使我得救。
Cuando yo era joven, yo fui al frente para ser salvo muchas veces, pero no fue así.
When I did get saved, it was a very simple matter.
当我得救那天，非常简单。
Cuando sí fui salvo fue una cosa muy simple.
I simply came to Jesus and trusted him, and he saved me and washed me clean with his blood.
我就是简简单单信靠了耶稣基督，相信了他，用他的宝血洗净了我的罪孽。
Simplemente vine a Jesús, confié en él y él me lavó con su sangre.
It's extremely important to know where Jesus is. I don't think I really thought about that before I was saved, the day I was saved.
要知道，在我得救那天之前呢，我一直没有意识到耶稣到底是在何处，现在在何处，这非常重要的一点。
Es muy importante que sepas dónde es que está Jesús. Yo no creo que pensé de eso antes del día que fui salvo.
Right now, Jesus is not in the air all around us. He's not on the cross still. Jesus is not in our hearts. The Holy Spirit is, but not Jesus. The Bible says repeatedly, over and over again, that Jesus is at the right hand of God the Father in heaven.
如今呢，耶稣并没有在我们周围各处那个虚无缥缈中间飘，也没有在石架上，更没有在我们心中，圣灵在我们心中。但是圣经重重复复讲到，耶稣基督在上天神的右手边。
Jesús no está todo alrededor de nosotros, no está en el corazón. El Espíritu Santo sí está con nosotros, pero Jesús en la Biblia dice que está a la mano derecha de Dios el Padre en el cielo.
And Jesus loves you. He's not angry with you.
耶稣爱着你，他并没有生你的气。
Jesús te ama, no está enojado contigo.
God the Father is angry with the wicked every day, but Jesus came into the world, the Son of God came into the world to save sinners. And He loves you.
神呢，每一天都生那些罪人的气，因为为他们犯的罪。但是耶稣基督来到人间，他为了是拯救罪人。
Jesús no está enojado contigo. Jesús vino al mundo para salvar los pecadores. Él te ama.
And God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son. Even though He was angry with sin, He loved the world and sent His only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in Him should not perish, but have everlasting life. John 3:16.
虽然神憎恶这些世间的罪孽，但是呢，他爱世人，将他自己的独生子赐给我们，让一切信他的不至灭亡，反得永生。约翰福音3章16节。
De tal manera amó Dios al mundo que dio su Hijo unigénito para que cualquiera que crea en Él no se pierda, mas tenga vida eterna.
Sometimes people ask me, how do you come to Jesus?
有时候常常有人问我，如何才能走向基督？
A veces la gente me pregunta cómo es que vienes a Jesús.
I never answer that question because the Bible doesn't answer it.
我从来没有去回答这个问题，因为圣经没有这样回答。
Nunca doy respuesta de esa pregunta porque la Biblia no da respuesta.
When you are tired of your sin and tired of your struggle, then God will draw you to Jesus, and it will be a very simple matter.
当你厌倦了自己的罪恶的时候，当你厌倦了那种挣扎之下的时候，结果神就会自然而然引导你信靠基督了。
Cuando estás cansado de tu pecado, entonces es un negocio fácil para que Dios te traiga a Jesús.
Not long ago, I was reading again the testimony of the salvation of Dr. A.W. Tozer.
不久以前，我又一次读了A.W. Tozer 博士他得救的见证。
Reciente estaba leyendo de nuevo la conversión al testimonio del Dr. Tozer.
Dr. Tozer heard a man preach the gospel on a street corner.
要叫Tozer博士在一个街头，在街边听到一个人宣讲福音。
Dr. Tozer escuchó a alguien predicando el evangelio de una esquina.
It was the first time he had ever heard the gospel.
这是他第一次听到福音的宣扬。
Fue la primera vez de que había escuchado el evangelio.
He was 17 years old.
17岁才。
17 años de edad.
And Dr. Tozer ran home. He didn't stop to talk to anybody or tell anybody about it. He ran home and went up into the attic of his father's house.
这个Tozer博士一路跑回家，路上没有跟任何人打招呼，跑到家以后去到阁楼上面，他的父亲家里面的阁楼上面藏起来。
Dr. Tozer corrió de la casa después de escuchar eso, no le habló con nadie, se puso enseguida a la azotea de la casa.
And he got down on his knees and came to Jesus.
结果就在阁楼上面单独一个人跪下以后，在信靠了耶稣基督。
Se arrodilló y vino enseguida a Jesús.
And he went on to become one of the great preachers of the 20th century.
结果继续成为一个20世纪最知名的一个传教士之一。
Fue uno de los grandes predicadores del siglo XX.
Perhaps that would be a good way for you to do. If you heard this sermon and you feel that you're lost, get in a quiet place by yourself.
有可能这是可以成为你得救的方式。当你在网站上面听到了我们这个宣道的时候，可以自己一个人单独祷告。
Quizás eso sería bueno también para ti. Si estás escuchando este sermón y estás perdido, ve a un lugar callado de solo.
Get down on your knees. That helps to humble you. Get down on your knees and come to Jesus, and His blood will wash every sin away, past, present, and future.
这样跪下呢，帮助你作为一些卑微一下，让这样跪下请求耶稣基督，请求神的原谅，这样呢，原谅你过去、现在和未来全部的罪孽。
Hincante en tus rodillas y ven a Jesús. Él lavará tus pecados pasado, presente y futuro.
Repent and believe in Jesus.
当忏悔、信靠主耶稣。
Arrepiéntete, cree en Jesús.
Turn away from your sinful lifestyle and get down on your knees and simply, by faith, come to Jesus. That's all He requires. Him that cometh to me, I will in no wise cast out, he said in the 6th chapter of John.
在约翰福音6章这里边讲耶稣这样，到我这里来，我绝不会离弃他们。所以你要抛弃自己邪恶的生活，结果转向耶稣，靠信仰信靠他，这就是他所需要的一切了。
Ese camilla bien, no lo rechazaré, dijo de breve en el Evangelio de Juan.
And then if you do come to Christ, I pray that you will get into a church as soon as possible and be in church every time the door is open. There's no more important advice that I could give you. Get into a church and be there every time the door is open.
但是当你得到转变之后，一定要找一个地方教会，每一次教会有活动都去参加，没有比这更重要的了。一旦你得到转变，参加一个地方教会。
No hay mejor consejo que te puedo dar menos que ve a la iglesia y esté ahí cada vez que la puerta esté abierta.
And if at all possible, make sure it's a church that preaches from the authorized King James Bible and sings the traditional hymns.
如果可能的话，这个教会应当是宣扬 King James 这版本，而且他们唱的是传统的圣诗。
Y si es posible, asegúrate que sea de la King James y los himnos antiguos.
And go to the pastor and tell the pastor that you've been saved.
而且告诉了牧师你如何得救的。
Habla con el pastor, dile que fuiste salvo.
And the best advice I could possibly give you is to get in to a church, a local church, and be there every time the door is open. That's the way to grow in the grace and knowledge of our Lord Jesus Christ. And be sure to give a tithe of your money to the church, and God will bless you.
所以我给你最重要的这个建议就是进入一个地方教会，在那里面就是在恩典之下不断成长，而且拿出你的11奉献交给了地方教会。
Métete en una iglesia local, es una de las mejores maneras de crecer en gracia y conocimiento de un diezmo ahí, Dios te bendecirá.
Now, I would like to ask you to support this ministry and help us.
我现在希望你能够帮助我们网站上的传道事业。
Quiero pedirte de que nos ayudes apoyando este ministerio.
Because these sermons are going out throughout the world in many, many languages, and we're adding more languages almost every month.
要知道，我们这是通过网站各种各样的10几种语言，而且我们越来越多的语言，不断的每个月都要加上去，所以这是传遍世界的一个福音。
Estos sermones van a través del mundo en internet en muchos idiomas y añadimos más idiomas casi cada mes.
And Dr. Kagan, is our statistician, has estimated, based on various things that he's studied, that 80% of those who watch who read my sermons in manuscript form on this website, 80% of them are pastors.
Kagan 博士，我们教会的一个统计学家，他这样估计，就是在我们网站上面读我们讲道那些朋友呢，80%都是宣道士。
Y el doctor Kagan, que hace la estadística con nosotros, piensa de que 80% de la gente que ve estos videos, escucha, son predicadores.
And they are using these sermons when they get stuck, as I often do, to give them a sermon idea. And in the third world, in places where the gospel cannot go, many preachers are preaching these sermons verbatim, right, word for word.
要知道，很多的牧师，当他们自己根本不知道要宣讲什么的时候呢，通过网站可以得到一些启发。很多的第三世界国家那些教会的牧师，通过我们网站上面逐字逐句，就是用我们的讲的道来宣讲。
Y ayuda a pastores a veces cuando no saben a qué predicar, pero también en los países terceros mundo la están predicando palabra por palabra.
I don't know if you knew this. I didn't know it until not too long ago. But 1/3 of the world does not have any, not even one missionary, doesn't have any missionaries from the United States, Great Britain, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. No missionaries from the English-speaking world in 1/3 of the world.
不知道你有没有注意到，我是最近才发现，就是在1/3世界上的地区，西方世界，美国、英国，而且欧洲、澳大利亚等等，那么西方世界传教士根本去不到世界1/3地区。
No sé si lo sabes, pero un tercio del mundo no tiene misioneros de que hablan inglés.
Jesus said, "Go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature."
耶稣这样告诫我们要往普天下去，向万民传福音。
Jesús dijo de ir a todo el mundo, predicar el evangelio a cada criatura.
But our Western missionaries cannot get into 1/3 of the world. That's about 2.5 billion people where our missionaries cannot go.
但是我们西方这个传教士大概有1/3的地区，大概也就是2亿5千万的人，根本就是我们达不到我们这些西方传教士他们这个声音之下。
Un tercio del mundo, como 1 billón de gente, los misioneros nuestros no pueden ir ahí.
But the native pastors are there.
但是有本地的传教士在那里，
Pero los pastores nativos sí están ahí.
And they are the only way, they are the only means of spreading the gospel in those countries is through the native pastors.
在那些地区就是唯一通过地方的本地传教士来把福音传出去，是唯一的方式了。
Es la única manera de repartir el evangelio es a través de los nativos pastores.
At the beginning of World War II, Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister of England, sent a message to President Franklin D. Roosevelt in America, and he said, "Give us the tools and we'll finish the job."
第二次世界大战开始的时候，文斯顿·丘吉尔曾经发了一个信息传给这个美国的总统罗斯福，这样祈求到说，请你们把工具交到我们手中，我们就把这工作完成它。
Al principio de la guerra mundial, Churchill le mandó una correspondencia al presidente Roosevelt diciéndole, mándanos las herramientas y nosotros terminaremos el trabajo.
And that's what we're attempting to do with this website. We're sending the printed sermons, word for word, on the internet to those nations in the Muslim world, the Buddhist world, the Hindu world, where our missionaries cannot go.
这就是我们通过这个网站所要办到的事情，把这个福音的信息逐句的传到那些1/3，就是穆斯林教国家，还有那些佛教的国家，各种各样的一个传教士去不到的地方，把那些这个武器交到那些传教士的手中。
Y eso es lo que estamos haciendo. Estamos mandando estos sermones escritos palabra por palabra a los lugares musulmanes de otros del mundo donde los misioneros no pueden ir.
We're giving those native pastors the tools, and they will finish the job of spreading the gospel in those parts of the world where our missionaries cannot go.
我们把这些传福音的工具交在那些本地的传教士他们的手中，他们就会完成这样传福音的工作。
Nosotros estamos dando a esos pastores las herramientas para que ellos puedan hacer el trabajo.
And we are giving those pastors, those native pastors, the tools, and they will finish the job of going into all the world and spreading the gospel to every creature in that 1/3 of the world where our missionaries cannot go.
我们就是把这个工具交到他们这个本地的那宣道士的手中，让他们去到那个1/3我们西方传教士去不到的地方，往普天下去，把这个福音传给万民听。
Estamos mandando estas herramientas a los sermones en ese tercio del mundo donde los misioneros nuestros no pueden ir.
And that's where you come in.
这就是你在这里可以帮助我们了。
Ahí es donde tú ayudas.
I am asking you to help us add more languages and more translators.
现在我就是希望你能够帮助我们更加多一些另外的一些翻译的工作，而且更加多一些语言上去。
Te estoy pidiendo que nos ayudes para que podamos agregar más idiomas a más idiomas.
People in our own church translate the sermons into Chinese, Japanese, Tagalog, the language of the Philippines, Spanish, and of course I give them in English. And so we are able to do those 5 languages. But all the rest of the languages, we have to pay a small amount of money to the missionaries and Christian workers that translate all the other languages.
要这样，我们本教会这些朋友们已经翻译成了中文、西班牙语，而且日文，还有一些 Tagalog， 就是墨西哥那些。但是呢，其他的这语言呢，都是要有其他的，我们要给他们一些资助，给他们一些报答，让他们来帮助我们做翻译。
Y nosotros en nuestra iglesia estamos nosotros mismos traduciendo en español, en japonés, en coreano, en chino y pues claro en inglés, pero tenemos que pagar a los otros que están afuera de la iglesia.
Now, we have raised a lot of money here for the languages that are already up, but to add more languages, we're going to need your help.
现在我们网站上刊载的10几种语言呢，我们要用很多这个资金来赞助，但是要加多更多的语言的话，我们就需要你来帮助了。
Estamos mucho dinero acá para los idiomas que sí tenemos en el sitio internet, pero para añadir más idiomas necesitamos ayuda.
Could you possibly make a monthly pledge to help us add more languages to this website?
你能不能保证每个月来拿出一笔这个资金来帮助我们把更多的语言加在我们网站上面？
¿Podrías mensualmente ayudarnos con una promesa para ayudarnos a añadir más idiomas?
If you can do it, I'm asking you to send $50 a month. If that's not possible, $25 a month, and make a monthly pledge to this ministry to help us get these sermons out in those parts of the world where none of our missionaries can go.
所以我希望你能够每个月呢能够赞助些50块钱，如果不可能的话，25块钱也可以，25块钱能够帮助我们把这个语言，把这各种各样的福音传到这个世界上的1/3地区，我们这个西方传教士去不到的地方。
Si nos pudiera ayudar, por favor, promete para ayudar algo mensualmente para que podamos mandar esto a lugares donde los misioneros no pueden ir.
Because the internet goes everywhere.
因为万维网站呢是去到是无孔不入的。
La internet va a todas partes.
And those native pastors can print out the sermons from their computer or copy them down with a pencil or pen. And often they circulate these sermons and pass them on to others. So would you help us with a monthly gift?
所以那些本地的牧师可以打印出来，或者把它抄下来，或者做拷贝等等，或者是流传给另一个人。你能不能帮助我们做好这些工作呢？
Frecuentemente los pastores escriben palabra por palabra de lo que se ve en la computadora, pero la cosa es que, por favor, ayúdanos mensualmente.
And if you can do that, you could send the money with a credit card, or you could send it by Western Union, and see if you can send it in with American money if possible. And the sheet will come up in just a moment that tells you how to send the money by credit card or the post office box where you can mail it.
你要是做奉献献给我们教会的话，也可以写支票，一会儿呢，荧幕上在底下就可以看到这个寄给我们这个地址，同时也可以用你的信用卡或者是 PayPal 或者 Western Union 都可以呢做奉献给我们教会，请你帮助我们。
Un momento verás la dirección donde se puede enviar el dinero a través de tarjeta de crédito, de PayPal o a Western Union, pero ojalá mándalo en dólares, pero si no, vienen pronto la dirección en la pantalla.
So keep watching, and that information will come up on the screen in just a moment.
所以继续看下来，观看下去，一会儿这个做奉献的信息呢，就打印在这个荧幕上让你看了。
Sigue mirando y esa información se verá en momento en la pantalla.